Sky News with Samantha Simmons.
Good evening. Thousands of police officers are on the streets of major cities in Britain in an effort to prevent a fifth night of serious disorder. So far, there have been no incidents on the scale of the last few days. Courts are staying open all night to deal with the hundreds of people charged in connection with the riots. One man was jailed for 6 months for burglary. The Prime Minister paid his condolences to the families of 3 men run down and killed as they tried to protect their community. Live to Birmingham Sky's David Crabtree is there. David, what's the scene on the streets there this evening?
Well, there's been a great deal of tension. Just behind me is the spot where those 3 young men received those fatal injuries in the early hours of this morning. Throughout the day, there have been a number of appeals for calm, not only from the Chief Constable, Chris Sims, here in the West Midlands, but also from community leaders, specifically from the Asian community, which is the predominant community in Winson Green in this part of north-west Birmingham. It is raining, which has made a difference perhaps. We had a big crowd here early on. That has dispersed. There's a real, very strong police presence throughout the centre of Birmingham, which is very quiet this evening. We've actually seen people going about their normal business, which is incredibly good news. It was very different yesterday, last night, and the night before when we saw those skirmishes, which were becoming all too familiar, of smallish groups of young men going around on their mobile phones, trying to find what they regard as soft targets to hit them and to loot those shops. We haven't seen any of that so far in this area tonight, but it's very sad here, very tragic what happened here in Winson Green. Sky's Lisa Dowd has been looking at exactly what happened.
Their families say they died protecting their community from looters. The 3 were named locally as Shehzad Ali, his brother Abdul Musavir, and Tariq Jahan, whose father had tried to resuscitate him. He appealed for calm over their murders.
I lost my son. Blacks, Asians, whites, we all live in the same community. Why do we have to kill one another? What started these riots? And what's escalated? Why are we doing this? I lost my son. Step forward if you want to lose your sons. Otherwise, calm down and go home. Please.
Not all listened to his call for solidarity.
I'm my son, and you lot starting up again. Why? Grow up, guys. Grow up. Go home. Begging you, my brothers. You guys got nothing better to do. Go home, man. Stop messing around.
For Harun's sake, we love him.
The 3 men were amongst a large group when a car ploughed into them on Dudley Road in Winson Green. Police carried out skid tests as part of their inquiry.
I've basically seen 2 cars go in excess of the speed limit, which is 30, well above that speed limit, and they hit a number of people who flew up in the air, and I was driving directly behind them at a distance, and I seen the silhouette of 2 bodies going up in the air and land down, and they went very high, so that's how I know they were going very fast.
Crowds gathered outside the hospital where 2 of the victims were treated, angry at what they called lawless Britain.
We feel let down by the police. These so-called police are supposed to be protecting our streets, they're protecting our lives, but instead they choose to protect big corporate organisations such as businesses in city centre with the heavy hand, and whereas in the community where they should be, they have got no police present at all whatsoever.
At a community meeting, officers tried to reassure residents.
Extremely clear. This is a significant issue for us in our area, and we are treating it as murder. You've got the detectives.
And the Prime Minister, keen to show he was doing everything necessary to restore order, visited Birmingham and expressed his concern.
They have my deepest condolences, and I think everyone in the country is going to be thinking about them and their families and what happened, because it was a truly dreadful incident. And I know that the police here in Birmingham, here in the West Midlands, are working night and day to get to the bottom of what happened and bring the perpetrators to justice.
Officers say their investigation is complicated and they appealed for witnesses. A 32-year-old man who was arrested close to this murder scene is being questioned by detectives. A car has also been recovered and is being examined by forensics experts. As the road reopened, tensions subsided. There was spontaneous prayer and a hope that there'd be no reprisals. Lisa Dowd, Sky News, Birmingham.
Well, police will hope that those very powerful words from the father of one of the young men who died here will do the trick and keep everything calm and keep a lid on any more trouble here. From the police point of view, they say they will be absolutely relentless in going after those who've already been involved in looting and other kinds of criminality. They have arrested over 300 people in and around the West Midlands area so far, and there will be many more.
OK, David, thank you. We're just going to take you live to the scene in Eltham in south-east London. These pictures coming into us live from the Sky News HD copter. We have reported